I've known you a few years now, and I don't think I've ever defended anybody more in my career than you. Are you amazed still by the jealousy and the bitterness that surrounds you, that they cannot fathom how you do what you do?
It's no surprise. I mean, I have a target on my head, and I'm happy to have that target on my head because I'm the guy out there. I'm the guy who has dominated the world of magic beyond the last decade. This is going to be one of my biggest years yet with Mindfreak Live at the Luxor with my touring shows that would be performing throughout the world. My television special back home at A&E this October, which is going to be, it's just going to ramp up what I did with Mindfreak back in that era. It's a whole new era, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm the guy out there, and I work harder than anybody out there. And there are people that have called actual writers to try to retract quotes. People that have called business magazines because of envy and jealousy and insecurity. And what I say is, life is too short. I look ahead. I don't look over my shoulder. And I try to be the best I can be as an artist and as a human being. And I think the world of magic is a big place. There's many different audiences, and there's a lot of different opportunities in Las Vegas for different shows. So I would say focus on your own show, on being the best you can be, and don't waste your life worrying about what I'm doing. Don't consume your life with what I'm doing, because there are people in the Vegas area, people that everybody knows of, person across the street that his whole life is consumed by Criss Angel. Literally, his whole life is consumed by Criss Angel and what I do and what people say, and and it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Everybody had a moment, and their moment passes, and there's somebody new. This is my moment, and this will be my moment for as long as I choose it to be my moment. And when I decide that I'm not going to do this, there'll be somebody else, and I have to accept that, and so do they.
I was at a show just last week, Penn and Teller, and they open with a cardboard cutout of you, and I will say to their faces, it seems to me a home goal to be promoting you in their show, and just makes me more curious about you. They don't quite get it, do they? That they're not helping themselves. I would ignore you if you were opposite me and I was doing the same thing, because if you can't beat it, ignore it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's my sentiment as well, but I'm honored that they want to promote my show like that. Please do, because, I guess, I mean, they do 5 shows a week or whatever, and I guess they have to do whatever they have to do to survive. I'm the guy out there that people look towards, the industry look towards, for what the next thing is. And, they're doing what they've been doing for the last however many years. And they do it well, and they do it great. And they give them props. But I asked Penn and Teller to do the charity that I have coming up, and I still haven't heard back. So when people don't get back to you like that, and their wife tells you that they would be participating in it, for me, it just shows me their character. The thing is that life is too short. And when you have a child that has cancer and going through treatment, you realize how delicate life is. And all of this superficial bullshit is just that. It really means nothing in the big world, in the big picture. And that's why I reached out the Olive Ranch to different magicians and tried to collectively come together for a greater cause than ourselves. Unfortunately, some of them are not in that mindset. God bless them. And I'll just continue on being positive, doing what I love to do. And at the end of the day, my best success is my happiness.
Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield back at the Luxor in Las Vegas. The last time we were here was Home to Believe, and it's evolved into a brand new show by Criss Angel called Mindfreak, which is going to be one of the biggest shows in the world, let alone in Las Vegas. And I'm delighted to say Criss joins us again now. How are you?
Great to see you again, Alex. Yeah, Mindfreak Live here at the Luxor. It's a brand new show, and we're really, really excited about what we're going to be doing on stage.
Watching you work is fascinating. I was lucky to come and see you last week, and it is amazing how many hours there are in a day, and you manage to fill them. Do you ever sleep?
Everybody asks me that. I sleep very, very little, and I've become accustomed to that type of lifestyle because I have so much to do and so little time to accomplish it. I mean, with Mindfreak Live, typically a show would have 2 or 3 years, to create it and to rehearse it and to tech it and to open. Here I had 3 months.
It's fascinating watching you work because you notice everything, don't you? A foot wrong here, a light wrong there, a sound cue wrong there. You're over everything. You could literally start a conference with your mind. Is that exhausting, being that over everything?
It is overwhelming at times because, I have to write everything down and make sure that I have it noted so that we can fix it, because we are opening in a relatively very fast amount of time. So I want to make those corrections. So yes, I see every little thing as the creator, as the director, and so many other areas. I'm very intimately involved, and this, production has my DNA all over it.
It's interesting how you've gone from Believe to Mindfreak and why you chose to do that, because I thought Believe was a stunning production of magic and illusion, and you've decided to stop that and start this. Why was that? What was the point of doing that at this point in your 10-year contract?
Well, first of all, Believe was a great show. It was a tremendous experience for me, and it brought in $150 million according to Newsweek. According to Bloomberg Business Week, I'm doing pretty well with it. And I essentially felt, and Cirque knew, I felt like even though it was a great show, it was a dinosaur compared to what I was capable of. And I never really had the opportunity to flourish in the way to show people what my talent is and how I can create and how I can execute and produce and direct, things that I can bring to fruition from my imagination. And Cirque got a hint of that when they saw Mindfreak Live and then the Supernaturals on tour, and realized that, the day and age that we live, tickets are hard to sell in Las Vegas, and especially being, at the Luxor, which is a fantastic hotel, but it's at the end of the Strip. A lot of shows are not working. Criss Angel in Vegas has been working very successfully. So I would assume, considering there's a 5-year option in my contract, and they probably wanted me to do what would make me happy and bring something fresh to Las Vegas, and hopefully look into the future, continuing our relationship potentially. So for me, they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And, I'm thrilled, beyond thrilled, even more now than I was when they offered me the deal, because I am very excited to show people what I'm capable of. Will you ever be done? Because even when this opens, there'll be other stuff you want to do within it. Will this show constantly evolve now under the banner of Mindfreak? Because I guess that's where you're at. Is that the point of this show, that you can continually keep changing it and adding in and taking stuff out, which keeps you creative? Yeah, I mean, with Mindfreak Live here, it gives me a creative license that I've never had before with Cirque du Soleil. And I'm very honored that Cirque, being such a successful entertainment monopoly, if you will, trusts me and respects my creative direction to allow me that freedom, because this is unprecedented. So I'm honored that, over the years we built that relationship, and they see that I do what I say and say what I do, and I don't deviate from that. I've never missed a show outside of when my son got sick. And I work tirelessly with my team to bring the finest, most incredible illusions and live entertainment experience to the stage. And that's what Cirque's about. So they're allowing me to do that and supporting my vision. And it's been an amazing opportunity, because I can, like you said, always bring in new things to the show and evolve and transform and change it, because it's a living organism. And again, I think there was always a duplex between who was the biggest star, Cirque du Soleil, Criss Angel, or Believe. And that's always sort of been a battle. I guess with this, it puts all the responsibility on you. How do you handle that pressure that now it really is Criss Angel, Mindfreak? Yeah, I don't want to sound in any way, because confidence sometimes could be mistaken for being conceited, and I'm not conceited. I work very, very tirelessly to have the confidence. I am more confident in what people are about to see when we open up Mindfreak Live here at the Luxor than anything I've ever done in my life. This show will really change the face of live magic shows, and I think it will really expose all the other magic shows in town and how dated they are with their approach and execution.
It's interesting seeing it last week. I mean, you're on a Broadway or bigger scale, and you're trying to put it in 3 or 4 weeks. How complicated is it? Because there's pyro, there's lighting, there are dangerous stunts that can go wrong. Where do you start with all that?
It's really starts off in my imagination and what I want to bring to the stage, whether it's lasers or pyrotechnics or over 1,000 lights or revolutionary illusions or these incredible cast of artists that can do really unbelievable physical things with their body. It's all about, strategizing and putting together a creative vision and then figuring out how to bring that vision to life and bringing the heads of each department together, understanding what my vision, what the emotional intent is supposed to be for the audience, and working towards bringing it to life, and that takes a lot of people, a lot of talented people, a lot of time, and just a relentless vision and focus to not settle for anything but what you want to bring to life.
As we sit here now, is it thrilling for you that you've got the best in the business working around you? Because this isn't a one-man effort. You can have the greatest vision in the world, but if you haven't got people that can get those illusions on stage and the people to light it properly and make it work, that, I guess, is the greatest thrill, that you have the pick of the crop.
I pinch myself because, I have people like Jack Jacobs, who's been with me since 2001, lighting designer. I have John Farrell, who's been with me for over 20 years. Nick Lang, who's just incredible young guy with a great insight and an understanding of my vision. Just the whole entire Cirque du Soleil crew, Tom Lapp and David Dovell and, Tomo, and just countless people that are the unsung heroes that are really the team of 200, let's just say, that are allowing me to bring this to fruition. And that's why I confidently will say that, this is my time. This is what I've worked my whole career for, this moment, this show. And I don't believe I will probably be able to top this. Because of the theater, because of Cirque du Soleil, because of where I'm at. It's just my time. And I think that this show will be a very hard to show to top for many, many years to come by anybody else, because you would have to have this lifetime of experience. You'd have to have the trials and tribulations, the resources, the 60,000 square foot space as a laboratory to create stuff. You just couldn't put this together. It's just my time, and I'm blessed to have it, and I'm excited more so for the audience and for the fans, the loyals all over the world, because they're going to get to see something that doesn't come around very often in life.
And I know you are literally reinventing the wheel in this show. You're putting in new stuff that's never been seen before. This is the clip they're going to use. What do we get in Mindfreak that's never been seen before?
Well, you get a lot of things. It's the levitation that I've been working on for 18 years. There's just so many things. My new segment called Phantasm, my new bird manipulation act. 3D immersion experiences that tie and integrate illusion that interacts with the virtual world, and the virtual world interacts with the illusion in a seamless experience that's 3D. So there are so many elements. It's hard to pick one. They're all my children. I can tell you that there's more magic in this show than any production I've ever seen, including my own productions. There's well over 50 different illusions in this show. As a matter of fact, I am right now about 25 minutes over, and what I'm going to do, so I don't have to take out a ton of things because they're very strong, and it really is a roller coaster ride. I'm going to take the animation that Maestro performs, and I'm going to move that 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, if that's our show time, to allow him to do his piece. And then there's a 15-minute video called Evolution that's going to happen prior to that. So really, the audience is going to get a tremendous value, and they're going to be able to come to see the show at, say, 6:30 for pre-show and 7 o'clock for the main show. And I'll be on stage a hell of a lot longer, and I'll be doing things that are much more physically, mentally, emotionally demanding than anything that I've ever done live. I mean, this show has me doing things that I had to get in the best shape of my life. I've been training like a maniac very specifically for being able to accomplish certain things. And so this is a very challenging show, and physically, mentally, and emotionally, because it's twice a night, and you gotta be on your game, or else you can get seriously hurt or even killed.
I've known you a few years now, and I don't think I've ever defended anybody more in my career than you. Are you amazed still by the jealousy and the bitterness that surrounds you, that they cannot fathom how you do what you do?
It's no surprise. I mean, I have a target on my head, and I'm happy to have that target on my head because I'm the guy out there. I'm the guy who has dominated the world of magic beyond the last decade. This is going to be one of my biggest years yet with Mindfreak Live at the Luxor, with my touring shows that would be performing throughout the world. My television special back home at A&E this October, which is going to be, it's just going to ramp up what I did with Mindfreak back in that era. It's a whole new era, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm the guy out there, and I work harder than anybody out there. And there are people that have called actual writers to try to retract quotes. People that have called business magazines because of envy and jealousy and insecurity. And what I say is, life is too short. I look ahead. I don't look over my shoulder. And I try to be the best I can be as an artist and as a human being. And I think the world of magic is a big place. There's many different audiences, and there's a lot of different opportunities in Las Vegas for different shows. So I would say focus on your own show, on being the best you can be, and don't waste your life worrying about what I'm doing. Don't consume your life with what I'm doing, because there are people in the Vegas area, people that everybody knows of, person across the street that his whole life is consumed by Criss Angel. Literally, his whole life is consumed by Criss Angel and what I do and what people say, and and it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Everybody had a moment, and their moment passes, and there's somebody new. This is my moment, and this will be my moment for as long as I choose it to be my moment. And when I decide that I'm not going to do this, there'll be somebody else, and I have to accept that, and so do they.
I was at a show just last week, Penn and Teller, and they open with a cardboard cutout of you, and I will say to their faces, it seems to me a home goal to be promoting you in their show, and just makes me more curious about you. They don't quite get it, do they? That they're not helping themselves. I would ignore you if you were opposite me and I was doing the same thing, because if you can't beat it, ignore it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's my sentiment as well, but I'm honored that they want to promote my show like that. Please do, because, I guess, I mean, they do 5 shows a week or whatever, and I guess they have to do whatever they have to do to survive. I'm the guy out there that people look towards, the industry look towards, for what the next thing is. And, they're doing what they've been doing for the last however many years. And they do it well, and they do it great. And they give them props. But I asked Penn and Teller to do the charity that I have coming up, and I still haven't heard back. So when people don't get back to you like that, and their wife tells you that they would be participating in it, for me, it just shows me their character. The thing is that life is too short. And when you have a child that has cancer and going through treatment, you realize how delicate life is. And all of this superficial bullshit is just that. It really means nothing in the big world, in the big picture. And that's why I reached out the Olive Ranch to different magicians and tried to collectively come together for a greater cause than ourselves. Unfortunately, some of them are not in that mindset. God bless them. And I'll just continue on being positive, doing what I love to do. And at the end of the day, my best success is my happiness.
One thing that does worry me about you is your well-being and your health, because as well as doing 10 shows a week here and creating Mindfreak, you're taking the show on the road. You've got a TV special coming up. Then you're doing a charity special for your son. When is enough? Because the body can only take so much. And actually, for anybody to do 10 shows a week would be more than enough.
Well, for me, I just, I don't know, I keep on saying that I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I have a vacation coming up, and then I book myself to go to Chile and do a show in a 15,000-seat arena, or go back to Foxwoods in my next break, or do a TV special in my June break. So I'm always doing stuff, and I'm always developing things. I guess it's just me. I say I want to take a break, but I guess if I really wanted to take a break, I would. I think I'm obsessed and married to my passion, and that's to create and to do what I love to do, and sometimes what I hate to do. It's that thing that lives in me that makes me very competitive and challenges me to push my own comfort level and try to reach different levels of creativity, and try to see what I'm capable of. And I did the same thing. I mean, in Mindfreak Live here at the Luxor, it's like a roller coaster ride. I mean, there's very different moments in this show that you might not expect. I mean, there's one moment where it's, Criss Angel from an era with the makeup. And then there's another moment that, I'm talking about my son and about cancer and about, what that is like and how as a society we need to address that. So there's a yin and a yang. And so for me, I love that opportunity to act and to perform and to be real and to be everything that I really am, not only when I'm off stage, but also on stage, because that's me.
I was here last year when you found out about Johnny getting ill. Is there any way of explaining how that feels to be a father and the proudest moment of your life, and then to get that bombshell that his life may never be the same again?
Well, he's doing really well. He's technically in remission. He has been for several months. He's going through 3 years of chemo, and he is in his delayed intensification block right now of chemo, which is one of the most difficult blocks to go because the dosage is very strong, and he has to have at times a blood transfusion and spinal taps and things that no child should ever go through. But we're hopeful that July he'll be able to come out and spend some time with his dad. I'm going to take him to wherever he wants to go and have a blast with him, and I'm so excited to be able to have him back at my home and spend some time with him and his mom. And but they've been doing overall really good. They have good days and they have bad days, but we're very optimistic. And we want to take this situation, Chenille and myself, and do something for the greater cause, which is other children that don't have a voice. There's one child every 3 minutes will be diagnosed with cancer somewhere in the world. And out of every $100 that the American Cancer Institute raises, less than 70 cents goes to pediatric cancer. It's a huge disproportionate number, and I want to be the voice for those kids if they want me to be. I'm going to be talking to some senators and Congress folks, and hopefully get in front of the Hill to try to get some more money allocated for research and treatment. And I'm taking it upon myself and to raise $1 million in one night on September 12th. And we've had just everybody that you can ever imagine and beyond participating. People like Celine Dion, Jerry Lewis, Tony Orlando, Elton John, Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi, Dee Schneider from Twisted Sister, Gary Oldman, an incredible actor, Gene Simmons of Kiss, Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears, and the list goes on and on. Mike Tyson, Dana White, WWF. It's just unbelievable Blue Man Group, Gordy Brown, Terry Fader. You see the good and the compassion and the sincere concern. And I believe that I was dealt this hand because I'm supposed to use my success far beyond for my own benefit, but for these kids. And so that's what we're trying to do. And if you want more information, you can go to ChrissAngelHelp.com to get that. But the name of the event is HELP, which stands for Heal Every Life Possible. And it benefits Johnny Christopher Foundation, Children's Charitable Foundation, which is going to donate 100% of every cent that comes in goes to treatment and research. Not 1 cent will come out for any expenses. I fund it completely out of my own pocket. And that is the most important thing out of everything. So he's doing well. We're excited about this event. And when I heard the news about Johnny being diagnosed, I obviously broke down. I decided at that moment that I was going to make a documentary so that other people and other families that are going to get this same news that I got, those words that you never want to hear as a parent. Your son has cancer, your daughter has cancer. So we're making this movie called 1095, which is the amount of days Johnny will be in treatment, 3 years. And that will be coming out once he is completed with his treatment and he moves on with his life and hopefully lives a very fruitful, long, healthy life way beyond his dad.
As we sit here today, aside from Johnny, which I know breaks your heart on one level, and then there's another side where you just wish him well, as everybody else does. As you sit here, are you excited? Are you nervous? Is this the greatest month of your life? Is it the most terrifying month of your life, opening this new show? Because they're all looking and they're all going to come. How do you feel?
Well, I'm not scared of anything. I mean, God is my only fear, that I've lived my life a certain way on this earth. And in his eyes, for better saying, feels that way. So for me, I'm not scared of anything. I'm very confident. I've done my homework. I've busted my ass. But anything can happen, you know. We can have technical problems. I mean, it's live entertainment. And whatever it is, you know. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to be what it is. And we've done all of our due diligence to make it the best it can be. And if it's not the best the day that it opens, it will be the best by the time that it officially opens on June 30th. So I'm excited. I'm tired, but I'm incredibly excited. I have a lot more work to do in the next 8 days before it opens. And you know, we're working around the clock. Literally, this theater's only basically down for 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there's a lot to be done, and I'm very excited. I'm just really, really, really excited because this is my dream. My dream is finally coming to fruition. Everything that I've done beyond this, or before this, I should say, was stuff that I wanted to do, but this is something I've dreamt about when I met Cirque du Soleil and I presented to them, but I didn't have the opportunity at that time to do it. And in hindsight, it was probably better because Believe gave me the understanding, the experience, along with the touring shows, to be able to accomplish something like this. I couldn't do this back then.
It's very interesting. Some people don't want to hear this, but I've never met anyone more committed than yourself. I've never seen a guy put on a better show. I've never seen a guy work harder to put on a better show. You have my ultimate respect and admiration because it's not easy. And seeing you work last week and how you see everything is nothing but inspiring. I wish you all the best. Mindfreak opens at the end of June. Previews from May. Thank you for your time, Criss Angel. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so very much for the very, very kind, heartfelt words, because as you said before, there will be people that come here, and it doesn't matter if I float out over their heads and turn into a million birds, they will still rip it and be negative. And that's who they are as a person. So nothing that you can do can change that. The thing that you have to do is be true to yourself, know that you're doing the best that you possibly can do, and be true to yourself. And let me tell you something. This show represents me 1000%, and I know it's going to be a fucking amazing, mind-blowing spectacle that the world of magic has never seen. And if you don't see that, cool. Go back and do what you're doing, and let's see who has the bigger audience.
Criss Angel, thank you for your time.
Thank you.